This is Sparta!
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Happy freaking Wednesday. What a week it's been. I feel like even though I was just live on Saturday, for those of you who know, you know I go live on Saturdays too. Saturdays, 1:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And it feels like it's been more than just a handful of days. It feels like it's been forever. And I think a lot of that has to do with the new channel logo, which many of you have said that you love. So thank you to everyone who's reached out, everyone who's commented. We've been trying to level up, and that's part of it, right? I love the original channel logo. I love it. It's one that I designed. I made it myself. But, you know, it's true. I am a bit of a child when it comes to graphic design. That's not really my game, but I do try to be creative. I do try to do new things. And this was one of them. You know, when I made the original channel logo, I had like a couple hundred subscribers. The channel wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be. It was a growth stage. But we're over 1 million views as a channel. Thanks to you. Thanks to each and every one of you hanging out in the chat. You know, the diehards, those who join me on the live streams, the channel members, the subscribers. Yeah, round of applause for you.
This is Sparta!
So I felt like it was time for a change because we are leveling up. Every week we get a little bit better. Every video I feel like I get a little bit better. I make a little bit higher quality, higher entertainment value. And I've always wanted this channel to be more than just over the top hands, you know, only hands, knife reviews. I wanted it to be more than that. And for that reason, I've done mini-series. I've done Grail or Garbage, which you guys love. I know you like it because you tell me. I'm a big fan of putting up polls on the channel board, and you guys tell me you love Grail or Garbage. I know you love Steel Snobs. I know many of you like the regular knife reviews, but recently I stopped doing. I shouldn't say recently. It's been about 4 months, maybe 5 months, since I've done an actual Grail or Garbage, but I thought I'd let all of you know Grail or Garbage Knife Rankings is making a comeback. I've got some changes in the works. We're going to get back to ranking knives because you told me that you love it, and I would be a fool. I would pity the fool to not make content that you guys want to watch, because that is what I'm dedicating 2024 to. Now with that monologue over, even though my live streams are basically one big monologue, let's say hi to some people in the chat. Shout out to Angelo with the first chat. How's it going, my man? Thanks for being a channel member. Shout out to Fibbit a Bit, another channel member. Thank you, sir. Shout out to Marco. Thank you for being a channel member. And then we got my man Dion Page in the house. Welcome in, Dion. Good to see you. What's up, Neil McKenzie, another channel member. Hello to Kathleen Smith. It's good to see you, Kathleen. Thanks for joining in. We've got Knives Are Life, my man Jim Miller. Oh, and we've got a channel moderator, channel member, one of the OG supporters, Top Dog. Oh, yeah. How's it going, Top Dog? Good to see you, my man. Thanks for supporting the channel. You always have. I definitely appreciate that. A shout out to the Knight's Edge, another channel member in the house. We've got Knife Plebe, a new recent channel member. Thanks for doing that, sir. We've got I'm Me, another man. It's everybody's a channel member, and I love it. I love it. It makes these intros a little bit long, but I have to say thank you, because I appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to Broke As Knives. We've got Knives Are Life. Let's see, Joseph S. coming in hot. We've got Anaso. Welcome in, man. Good to see you. Ed B in the house, another channel member. Charles Wooden. Oh man, and I've been neglecting the chat. This is what happens when you monologue. You neglect the chat. Rule number 1, don't neglect the chat. Ed B says, holy shit, he's wearing a different hat. You want to know why I'm wearing a different hat today? I was walking the dogs after work and it was pouring rain, because that's what it does here in Colorado. It pours the rain and then it gets cold and then it pours the snow. And so the other hat is a bit damp. Yeah. Probably gonna need one of those. Hey, shout out to Chef Rocky, channel member for 3 months. He says, sup suckers, love to you and yours. Rocky, thank you for being a 3-month channel member, my man. And Top Dog, shout out to him for being a channel member for 14 months. He says, working on that 2-year plan. Yes, sir. And we've got my man Kaleidoscope of Knives joining in as well, another channel member. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think he has his own channel as well. Make sure to check him out. All right. And oh man, I missed him. Blue Minati Ninja coming in, gifting 5 more channel memberships. You're my boy, Blue. Thank you, man. So generous. Always so generous. And shout out to Josh Branson, member for 5 months. He says 5 biggins. We appreciate you guys, each and every one of you guys. This channel would not be the same without you. Truthfully, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for making this hobby so fun, so rewarding for me. It's probably, I don't think I've ever poured as much energy into a hobby as I have the knife community. I dropped everything else to do this. I used to spend a lot of time playing video games. I don't do that anymore. I really don't. I play some games on the phone. That's about it. All right. Hey, shout out to John Blackman. Welcome in, man. And Lone Star Towboy. John Blackman says, yo, Rollshambo, have a sinus infection, not feeling good, but hanging in there. Dude, so I was recently traveling, right? And the place where I was traveling to, everybody was sick. And I thought that I was going to, I thought that I was going to escape it. And then I got this tickle in the back of my throat, and it's the worst. When you are just sick enough to not feel 100%, right? Like 78%. Nobody cares if you're 78% well. Work still expects you to come in. Family still expects you to do the things you're supposed to do. Like, suck it up. Just suck it up. I'm sorry you're not feeling well, man. I commiserate because I'm right there with you. Joseph Jones says, feeling neglected. Joe, channel member, thank you. Thank you for being a channel member. I thought I said hi. I'm sorry. Definitely didn't mean to neglect you, brother. Oh my goodness. I'm just trying to catch up with everybody before we get into some stuff. There's some stuff that I want to talk about today. 100%. Before we get started, if you don't know, especially to you new channel members, we have a members only Discord. That's right. The channel members only Discord. All you have to do is be a channel member, join, and even if your channel membership expires, this is open to gifted members as well. Even if your membership expires, you can forever be a part of the members only Discord. So channel members, check out the Discord. That's what we're going to do right now. And bang, there we go. Hey, shout out to Top Dog with the $10 donation. He says $10 for dry cleaning the OG hat. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I do have to clean that hat because I wear it exclusively through my days. So I usually have to clean it, once every couple of months. Thank you for the $10 donation, brother. I appreciate you. But yeah, so here we are. We're on the members only Discord. A couple things about this members only Discord. And we're going to get into the first one, pocket checks. If you want your pocket check featured on the live stream, if you want to share with the class, share with the class. You can post your picture here in the Discord. So first we'll start off. Most of the time I carry 1-2 knives max. That does it for me. Usually that's overkill in my day, but I like it. I like to carry, one that is easy, quick to open, one-handed. Today that carry was this guy. This is my modified Emerson Blade Ops Edition Paramilitary 2 with the rock scale design, titanium critter scales, the titanium pocket clip, the rock scale back spacer, so on and so forth. I love this knife. This is one of those knives that would dominate my pocket. I would be absolutely happy if it was the only knife I could carry all week long. I wouldn't complain about that. Fantastic knife. And then another one, which I know you guys are tired of hearing about. It's the QSP Hedgehog. No surprises there. And guys, I think this could possibly be my sliceiest knife. It slices better than just about damn near everything else that I have. I keep all my knives sharp. I keep them all slicey. Hold on, I lost my image there. There we go. I keep them all slicey. But the freaking laser beam. If I just need to cut something super quick, super clean, there's like no resistance to this edge. It just slips through whatever I'm cutting. It's a slip joint. I love it. If I could recommend one knife to anybody out there that just needs a solid knife that doesn't necessarily have hardcore EDC requirements, like if you're not working at a job where you have to baton with your knife and crap, QSP Hedgehog, definitely one of my top recommendations. So yeah, that was my carry today. Let's see what was in the channel members' pockets. At least those who shared. Blue posted this yesterday. Huge shout out and congratulations to everyone who got in on the Kaimano pre-order from my buddy Sharif Manganas. I reviewed this knife. I got my hands on the prototype last year and it was so good. It was so good. It was sublime. I really enjoyed it. Really, really good. This one has the Purple Haze fat carbon fiber scales, belt satin finish. It's aggressive. It's utilitarian. It's well made. Yeah. Kaimano is one hell of a carry. Very, very cool. Yeah. Nice shots, man. Nice shots. Thanks for sharing. And then we got Ward 918. He's got the Yojimbo with the OG scales. Are those the OG scales? I could have sworn those were aftermarket. I could have sworn those were like aftermarket titanium scales. Good looking Yojimbo too, though. I dig it. Then we got Ed coming in hot with the Kershaw Livewire. I almost called it a microtech. Go home, Rolls. You're drunk. I'm already home. But he's got the Kershaw Livewire with the he's calling it the Wednesday wing night carry. Look, these wings won't debone themselves, and don't be a savage. You have to get the bone-in wings. They taste better. Boneless wings are chicken nuggets, and we all know that that is not an actual chicken body part. So you got to debone the wings. Kershaw Livewire, that's a good one. Love that piece. Ward 918's also got the Microtech Dirac. Is that the Dirac Delta or the regular Dirac? I really like that one. I've always wanted a Dirac. It's hard for me to justify a dagger style blade. They're so aggressive. And they're not the best regular cutting geometry as far as utility is concerned, but they're freaking cool. They're so cool. I like that. I like it a lot. Dirac Delta, sweet knife. Jim Miller is coming in hot. He's got the Precision Knife Works Worn Tack. I always keep one close. It's always on my desk. Hold the phone. Here we go. One of the best knives released last year. So good. I hope everyone that wanted one was able to get one. These are fantastic. Freaking worn tack. Then he's got the Finch. He's got the Finch Hellfire, the brand new one. The one that everyone was excited about. It seems like a lot of Finch knife models go underappreciated. They do a good job. They do a really good job. But this one has been getting a whole lot of positive press. So it's good to see one. And then that's the, is that a CRKT minimalist? I feel like I keep calling it a minimalist, but I get it wrong. The SPEW. It's not a minimalist. Come on. We're going to get it right one of these days. We're going to get all of them right. I promise you. Today is not that day. Oh, my goodness. Barbarian Brawny takes some of the cleanest shots. His photo game is otherworldly. Look at that. He's got the Sabenza on a cup of coffee. Yeah. We're going to, round of applause, man. That photo, that photography. That's one of the only other hobbies that I still do because I use it for the channel, and that's photography. But that is nice. That's really nice. And then he's got the watch on the coffee beans. Yeah. You know what you're doing. Brawny, you know. And I think he's in the chat. I hope he's in the chat. Shout out to Barbarian Brawny. There he is. I see him. He says it's the Nkosi. I'm going to get them all wrong. We should call this segment Rollshambo Misidentifies Knives for 15 minutes. You guys are so kind to me. Feel free to roast me in the chat. All right. Speaking of the chat, I'm gonna get back to the chat here. Ed B says boneless wings aren't wings. I agree. You know, I used to be a savage. I used to order boneless wings. I'll admit to it. We all go through phases. But once you've had some really, really good bone-in wings, you start to realize that boneless wings are not that great. They're chicken nuggets. They're overprocessed. All you're getting is just the flavor of the sauce. It's not the same thing. Some people out there eating their boneless wings right now feeling super judged. Hey, shout out to Mike Morgan. We got another channel moderator out there. And Joseph Jones says, I have the Jig Titanium Hedgehog in M390. It's absolutely a banger. One of the best slip joints, walk and talk sweet. Walk and talk is sweet, sharp, straight out of the box. Definitely worth buying. You know, and I'm going to say this. I think I've said this before, but I'm going to say this. I really like the look of the Jack Wolf knives. I have reviewed a few of them. I reviewed the Feel Good. I reviewed the Gunslinger that was lent to me by my buddy Knife Dope. And I really like them. I have one problem with them. As long as you can go to traditional pocket knives, which I am not affiliated with in any way, but as long as you can go to traditional pocket knives and get the QSP Hedgehog in camo carbon fiber, titanium, and M390, like this, I can't justify for people spending, like, if you don't have one. If you already have one of these, okay. But if you don't have one of these, how are you going and spending $300, $350 on a Jack Wolf knives? I'm not saying anything negative about them. Just like, I don't understand how you can justify twice the price for what is essentially the same. I don't get it. Could someone let me know in the chat why you would do that if you don't already have a Hedgehog? I just have a hard time justifying it because this is every bit as good as the Feel Good Jack that I reviewed. Same premium materials, very well done, excellent. Now I know Jack Wolf Knives does use S90V, and I love S90V a lot more than I do M390. However, when we're talking about super steel versus super steel, the value proposition is still better for a QSP Hedgehog. I said it. I ain't taking it back. Craig Vincent, welcome in, brother. Good to see you. Thanks for being a channel member. He says, I want a Kaimano, but just recently bought too many other knives. story of my life. He says, at this point, I have a lot of cold steels that I could trade. Hint, hint. You know, I'm so glad you mentioned that. And I'm going to show you why. One of the channels on the Discord, I started something called the Knife Yard Sale. Now, this is not like the knife swap on Reddit, because I don't have the time. Nobody employs me. Like, I just don't have the time to moderate everybody's deals. But I trust my channel members to be good to each other, to be fair with each other, to take care of each other. If you have a knife that you want to post for sale to the channel, post it on here. As you could see, I started it off with a couple offerings, and I've already sold 2 of these. So I sold the Max Ace capsule, fantastic knife, and I sold the Devo Nip, purple nurple. I decided to keep them moving because they're great, and they're both hard to get your hands on. I know the Nip just recently re-released and then they sold out. Fantastic small knife, but it wasn't getting enough use because this has been dominating everything. But I do have the Arcane Plexus still up for grabs. The Arcane Plexus, and I've got it here in the case with the certificate of authenticity. I got that going for $280, serial number 174. And then here's the thing. Every time I do a knife sale on the channel and I make a video, I sold a couple knives that had the button lock that wasn't a plunge lock. So for example, the second knife I have up for sale there is the Dark Bolt Designs Stratus, and it has a button actuated liner lock. Those typically sell brand new for about $220, and people do buy them. I've got that one going for $150. So if you want one of those, hit me up. You can do so in the Knife Yard Sale channel, or you could shoot me an email. Rollshambo.edc@gmail.com. You know where to find me. But for everybody else who also has knives that they'd like to sell or put up for sale, feel free to do so in the Knife Yard Sale channel in the Discord. There is a link to the Discord for new channel members. You can join the Discord by going to my community tab, and then it's a members only message. So there you go. There you go. All right. Anaso says, okay, guys, got to finish stuff at work and the road. Have a good week, fellas. Hey, Anaso, thanks for joining, man. We will catch you on the flip side, brother. Eugene Crab says, if boneless wings are chicken nuggets, then meatballs are hamburgers. Aren't they? Are they not spherical hamburgers that we put on pasta, which is, yes, it's grain. Better question, is pasta with meatballs just another version of a hamburger? We can go down this rabbit hole. I've got time. Don't ask me to play devil's advocate. I will. I absolutely will. Let's see. Mike Morgan says, some people want the best or what they perceive to be the best. Are we talking about the Jack Wolf knives versus the TPK Hedgehog? I can understand it. And I'll say this, I can 100% understand it if, as a collector and enthusiast, you already have a Hedgehog. But I'm going to say this one time for the people in the nosebleed section. If you have premium slip joints and you don't have a TPK edition Hedgehog, you are missing out. Get one, thank me later. In fact, Barbarian Brawny, weren't you going to buy one of these? Wasn't this on your list? Did that happen on a live stream? Did I miss that? Let me know in the chat, brother. Welcome into Nick EDC. Lone Star Cowboy says, wing and burger scandal. This is the way. What grit do you use on your burgers? A toothy grit. I don't know how to answer that question. John Blackman says, do you have a Patreon? I do not. And the reason I do not is because I always feel self-conscious. I don't know how I can add value through a Patreon. And that's one of those things where I feel self-conscious just having a Patreon with no benefits to it. Because if people are going to give me money for anything, I want to give them some kind of value out of it. I don't want to just take people's money and not give them something for that. And I get it. Some people just want to support. And I'm here to tell you guys, like, whether you watch or subscribe or gift channel memberships, or join the live streams or hop in the comment section of my latest video, those are all ways that you can support the channel. And most of those don't include anything monetary. So there's a lot of ways you can support the channel. Patreon is not one of them yet because I haven't figured out how to give people anything of value in Patreon. I actually do have a Patreon. Believe it or not, I do have a Patreon. I just don't link to it and I don't talk about it because I haven't figured out how to give people any value there yet. But that is something that I'd like to work on. I really would. 100%. Hey, shout out to Brian Kurd, another channel member in the house. He says, our hot dogs just rolled up bologna. I mean, aren't they? I don't know. This is what I get for saying we can go down this rabbit hole. Joseph Jones says, soup in my eyes is hot, not cold, just my 2 cents. Is chicken soup liquefied meat? Got to be careful what I say on these live streams. All right. Brian Kerr says the ocean is technically soup. It really is. It's very salty soup. All right. So yeah, knife yard sale. Check it out. I've got a couple knives up for sale, my friends. If you're interested, let me know. You can shoot me an email at rollshambo.edc@gmail.com, or you can go over here to the knife yard sale. With that being said, I do have some action in this channel. This is the live stream featured questions. This is a channel where you can ask questions and I will feature them on the live stream. I missed this one a month ago and I did not answer it, but I should have. Ed said, why don't you like lightning strike anno? So I thought I answered, maybe I did answer this in a live stream, but in case I missed it for an entire month, here you go, Ed. I don't hate lightning strike anno. I just don't prefer it. And the reason I don't prefer it is because oftentimes lightning strike anno is what people buy when what they really want is Timascus or Mokutai, but they don't want to spend the extra money. And well done Timascus and Mokutai, it looks next level and it feels and looks different. I see a lot of really corny lightning strike annos, and that's not to say that they all are. There are some companies doing that anno correctly, really, really well. For example, our friends over at Chapman Lake Knives, they have a very good lightning strike anno. An example of one that I don't like the Tucson lightning strike. I think Tucson lightning strike anno doesn't look very good. So yeah, I just thought I would address that. And we've got another new one. We started to have a little conversation in here. Let's see. Ed also says, Ed's coming in hot on the live stream featured questions. He says, 14C versus S35. What say you?
This is Sparta!
14C is ultimately one of my favorite knife steels, and it's one of my favorite knife steels because it has an incredible amount of strength and corrosion resistance. It doesn't have the most edge retention, but it's fairly decent if you heat treat it the way that it's supposed to. And I'm going to say this one time, but we have not been experiencing properly heat treated 14C on most knives that have it. And I think that we've all just come to accept that it's a steel that's easy to scratch, that it's a steel that doesn't hold an edge super long, but it's easy to sharpen. It takes a really nice, fine, high angle edge. I think we've just come to accept that. But the truth is, if you get cryo-treated 14C at 62, it will act differently. You will get some decent edge retention out of it. Laren Thomas says this himself. He says, at 62, it's actually really decent on the edge retention. I'm not saying that it's super steel levels of wear resistance, because it's not, but it's extremely good as a user steel. So for me, it comes down to what's the situation, right? If it's a knife that I use all the time, I want it to be something that's relatively easy to sharpen, because I don't want to spend all day sharpening my knife. I want to sharpen it. I want to get the edge that I want, and then I want to get on with my day. 14C is great for that. If I have a fixed blade, or if I need a fixed blade that needs to be tough, I want 14C over S35. If I'm in a saltwater situation at all, 14C will be more corrosion resistant than S35. And something that people don't talk about enough is the fact that corrosion will also ruin your edge. So at a certain point, if you're in one of those scenarios where your knife could corrode, and corrosion is more than just rust. I think people don't understand that, but corrosion is more than just rust. 14C is extremely corrosion resistant, extremely tough. And if it's cryogenically treated to 62, it will actually be pretty decent as far as a user edge steel goes. S35 is what I would choose on a typical slicey folding knife that I just need it to be slicey. Maybe I want a bit of corrosion resistance. It's stainless steel. S35 VN is a really, really decent premium steel. It's going to have better edge retention, but that's about it. 14C has far better toughness and far better corrosion resistance. So if I just want wear resistance, I'll go for S35 VN. On a premium level folder that's, somewhere in the realm of $100 to $200, I'm completely fine with S35 VN. But surprisingly, there's many situations. I think there's actually more situations where I find 14C to be more preferable if it's been properly heat treated. And that's a huge if, because most of the time what we actually get is like 59 HRC 14C, which is a crying shame that nobody talks about, because people don't cry about a 59 HRC heat treat Rockwell hardness on a $50 knife, on an $80 knife. Nobody's crying about that. We'll be up in arms if our $200, $300, $400 knife in Magna Cut is at 62. But we're not talking about 14C at 59, and I think that we need to have that conversation, because most of us do not understand how good properly heat treated to 62 14C actually is. Shout out to Tori Casey. Thanks for being a channel member and welcome in. Joseph Jones says Vosti does pretty good 14C. I haven't looked into their 14C knife before. Jim Miller says Kubi has excellent 14C. Yes, they do. Guys, the Kubi Verigero, this is one of my favorite knives that I've checked out this year. It's so good. It is so good. The action is broken in. It's glossy. Like when I first got this out of the box, the action was it was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't anything to write home about. But if you start wearing in that detent track, oh, it's so good. The front flipper, the detent is a bit stiff for the front flipper, but the reverse flick is so good. And it's cryogenically heat treated 62 HRC 14C28N.
This is Sparta!
Just like what they did on the titanium Kubi Titius, which is another one of my favorite knives from them. I mean, are we seeing a recipe for success here? 14C plus titanium, both well done. Absolute banger. $118, $110 if you use my discount code. Watch my video on this knife. I love this piece, guys. And I'm not the only one. A lot of people are checking it out and they're saying the same thing. It's fantastic. Kathleen Smith says, why not crewwear? So I thought we talked about this in maybe it was the last live stream, maybe it was the one before that. Hold on one second. I'll pull up the knife steel ratings. So crewwear has the edge on MagnaCut in, that's what it was. We were talking about MagnaCut. So Kathleen Smith, I don't know if we're talking about the same thing here, but I would give MagnaCut the edge over crewwear because it has better edge fidelity. Crewwear is slightly tougher, but that's about it. They have the same amount of edge retention, but MagnaCut has far superior corrosion resistance. So that's why I would pick MagnaCut over crewwear. MagnaCut was actually designed by Dr. Laren Thomas to be a crewwear killer. Crewwear is one of my favorite steels. I don't think you can go wrong with it. And I don't think the average person just trying to get work done is ever going to notice the difference between crewwear and MagnaCut. Unless one of them hasn't been properly heat treated. That said, 14C versus crewwear, I'd probably pick crewwear for most things. Crewwear just has better edge retention. It's not as tough. I'm going to pull up the Steel Snobs knife rating sheet. Hold on. Hold the phone. I'll pull it up. You twisted my arm. Not really. I really enjoy doing these steel comparisons. Hold on. We're going to pull it up. I know you can't see it, but that's what I'm doing on my end. All right. So this is my Steel Snobs comparison sheet, right? And I got it zoomed in. And we're going to do crewwear versus 14C. So the big difference is that 14, so check this out. If you want to know directly how they compare, assuming that the heat treat's been done optimally and correctly, crewwear comes in with an 8 at toughness, 14C comes in at a 9. Edge retention is notably better on crewwear. It has a 5 instead of 14C, which comes in at a 3. But 14C takes the cake with an 8.5 rating for corrosion resistance, and crewwear is a 5.5. The cumulative score, 14C's actually has a higher cumulative score. That score is just all three of their ratings added up. And the reason why that's important is because that basically tells you how good the knife steel properties are going to lend themselves to what I call edge fidelity, because toughness can make a difference in the overall edge retention, and corrosion resistance can also play a role in the overall edge retention. The edge retention category itself I should rename it wear resistance, because it's different. Edge retention encompasses all of these things. So 14C has better edge fidelity overall. If you're in a high impact situation, or if you're in a situation where rust or corrosion is an issue, if you're in you know, a dry state like Arizona or Utah or Colorado, it's actually very dry here, and except when it rains. I know, shocker. It's dry until it rains. But if you're in a state that doesn't have high humidity, that's what I should say, or a situation where you don't have to deal with that, the edge retention is more, the wear resistance is more important to the overall edge retention than the corrosion resistance is. But 14C is amazing. It's amazing. It has better edge fidelity than most steels, except for MagnaCut. I'll show you what I mean. I'll throw MagnaCut in there. MagnaCut. There we go. And you'll see what I mean. So MagnaCut has the highest edge fidelity score at 21.5. All three of these are fantastic steels. You won't see me complaining with any of these at all. Top Dog says, how about Kubi Flame Anno? So that's a different story. I actually do like Flame Anno Titanium. I don't have any knives in that, but I do like it. I like it. I think I probably like it better than a Lightning Strike Anno. Barbarian Brawny says, I just got the Casey Knives Fast Dust Devil, and that's in 14C, and it's been pretty good so far. Kubi made. I also agree, if I can sharpen it, I like it. Yeah. Everyone likes, listen, everybody likes the super high wear resistant steels until it comes time to sharpen them and you don't have a diamond stone. It's just how it goes. Like if you're someone, by the way, that does have a lot of super steels with very high wear resistance, I suggest getting good diamond stones to sharpen them on. Absolutely. Because if you try to use poor quality diamond stones on like S90V or S110V or even properly done M390, it'll give you a hard time. Even properly done S45 could give you a hard time. Craig Vincent says, I got a cold steel black Talon last week along with 3 of the SRM Land 900 series in titanium and stainless. This week I ordered a Silver Eye and an SRK compact. Damn. Lone Star Cowboy says, my Kershaw Lucha is in 14C. This is a good choice for a balisong as they will be dropped during practice. Tough is the way. Yeah, it's also why a lot of balisong flippers appreciate AEBL. AEBL is another good tough steel. I used to have a Squid Industries Kraken in AEBL, and I liked it a lot. It was good. Andrew Bradley says, I like CPM 3V, LMAX, MagnaCut, and CPM 154, but not 154 CM at all. The moment you powderize 154 CM or D2, it's a completely different ball game for those steels. Absolutely. Craig Vincent says, my first knife in 14C was the QSP Hawk. I haven't checked that one out yet. Tori Casey says, little blade wax and corrosion isn't really a problem. Lone Star says, 14C will also be cheaper. It will. Yep. Jim Miller says, my growler is in Lightning Anno. It's made by Kubi and is beautiful. Jim, as long as you love it, that's what's important, man. We all have our personal preferences, and that's why we have so many options. That's the best part. We don't always have to agree on everything. It's actually our ability to come together as a community and talk about the things we disagree about that makes this community great. It makes it enjoyable. Of course, there's always those who ruin it because they're trolls. But for the most part, it's the fact that we all have different opinions that makes this interesting. If we all agreed, it wouldn't be interesting. Am I right? Nick EDCR says, Rex 45, K390, and 15V for my use. I can go 3 to 6 months on sharpening. Yeah, those are all pretty good. Chef Rocky says, my custom deadlock is in MagnaCut. How good is... I have to imagine that they did a good job. I would imagine that it's at least 62 plus, probably 63 plus. There's no way. There's no way you can charge thousands of dollars for a knife and not hit that Rockwell on the nose. Jim says, both of my Aries EDC fixies are AEBL. They take a wicked edge. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'll leave this open in case anybody wants me to do more steel comparisons, but 14C is so underrated. It's the budget super steel. I said it, I'm not taking it back. You could fight me in the comment section. Please don't. It's been a long week already. Next order of business, guys. So I wanted to bring attention to a retail site because I just found out about them. Turns out they carry a lot of cool stuff. I had never heard of them before, but they came across my Instagram feed. Another member of the community was saying to check them out and support them because their store had recently gotten broken into and thousands of dollars of high-end and custom knives were stolen. I am talking about Blade Runner headquarters or bladerunnerhq.com. There's so many knife retail websites out there. It's easy to miss some good ones. This is a good one. They actually have some knives that are hard to get. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that people just don't know that they're there or they don't realize that they're there. But when members of the community offered them charity, they said the best thing you could do, instead of just giving us your money, order a knife off the website. So they had thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of high-end and custom knives stolen in what was basically a smash and grab. And when just offered plain old cash, they said the best way you can support us is to order knives from us if you really want to support us. So I thought I would go ahead and show their website in the live stream. Check it out. They actually have some hard to find knives. You're going to see a lot of microtech, but for those of you who wanted the new cipher, every time I look at a microtech cipher on like NC Blade or eKnives or any place that they are normally found at, they're always sold out. But check this out. They actually have a couple. They actually have two, and they're both the new version. This is the old versions. Those two are sold out. But they actually have the new version of the cipher, $405. So it's priced the same as everywhere else. I did check it out because I wanted to see. They offer Sezzle for those of you who use it. The microtech cipher is one of those that is hard to find because they're selling out really quickly. Knife scalpers haven't found this site yet. So I'm going to say this, guys, like, check out Blade Runner HQ because they're getting some cool stuff. They try to carry stuff that knives and inventory that the community actually wants. And I found one on here that has been very tempting. One of the reasons why I'm selling knives is because I want to take the funds and I want to buy this one. It's the American Blade Works, or ABW Model 1. But it's not just any Model 1. Check this out. It's got the 80s camo carbon fiber inlay. Titanium carbon, like 80s camo carbon inlay. I haven't seen this anywhere else. That's crazy cool. I haven't seen this version of the American Blade Works Model 1 anywhere else. That is sweet. $333 for an American made knife with titanium, MagnaCut, camo carbon fiber. Like, the value proposition on that is very good. Very good. Everywhere else, they have the regular American Blade Works models, the micarta and the regular titanium and so on and so forth. That's freaking sweet. And you can get it at Blade Runner HQ. They're not, like, I'm not affiliated with them. I kind of wish that I was, because they've got several knives that I would love to check out. This is one of them. I'm trying to get funds That's why I'm selling a few pieces. I'm actually trying to get funds so that I can buy this. So yeah, that is sweet. Have you guys seen that? The 80s camo carbon fiber Blade Runner HQ exclusive Model 1. Wow. I am cheesing all over that knife, and it's like I don't even physically have it. It's just on the screen, and I can't help it. It gets me excited. I get excited. Chef Rocky says, I love Blade Runner HQ. Hello, RJ. I don't know if they watched my channel. Probably not. I would be surprised if they did. But I thought I'd just bring this to your guys' attention because some of you may not have heard of them before. We're going to just go through some of their knives because I scrolled through here earlier and I found some that were really cool. A lot of OTFs. But they do also do some secondhand sales on customs too. They've got microtech stitch, microtech matrix. Love that knife. Got one on my desk right now. It's great. They've got, and I've never heard of this, but the Beans Blades Mini Warrior. Oh, what is this? Why haven't I never seen this before? $375. It's a first run Riot OEM folder. That looks like I'll be honest, that looks like a folding pry bar. I'm guessing that is not slicey. But I'm also betting that you could probably, use this like the jaws of life if you had to. I just thought it was really cool to see stuff that I don't see in a whole lot of other places. They've got the Civivi Cairo, ProTech Godson. It's a 2024 custom. The abalone inlays and the Vegas Forge Damascus blade, $1,100. Jeez. They've got ProTech Malibus. That's cool. For those who thought they missed out, you can get a Dead Reckon Ridgeback here. See what I mean? Like, look at all the cool stuff you can get. The Dead Reckon Ridgeback always sells out. Everywhere. But they still have one. A Heretic Hyperion Tactical Flashlight, if you're into custom flashlights. They've got the most sought after version of the Microtech Matrix with the inlay instead of the overlay. Kershaw Live Wires. Man, like, I'm finding gems everywhere. So, if you guys want to, if you're looking for a knife, add Blade Runner HQ to your list of retailers to check because they are carrying knives that people actually want. The scalpers have not found out about them yet. Hallelujah. Can't say the same thing about NC Blades. I like NC Blades. But the scalpers run rampant on that website. Dear Lord. Anyways, I just thought I'd run through some of these with you guys. They've got cool inventory, and they seem like truly cool people. They're always at the blade shows apparently, so that's neat. They try to carry the knives that people care about, and I just thought I'd make you guys aware in case you would like to support them, in case you would like to check out some of their inventory. Like, check this out. I've never seen one of these before. A pre-owned Jake McCoy Genesis fixed blade custom, $495. Look at that. Look at that hand rub finish. That is gorgeous. Absolutely love it. A shout out to Todd Carr, member for 7 months. He says 14C28N is my favorite inexpensive steel ever. I agree. Mine too. Chef Rocky with the $2 donation says, can I come on for live for a minute? So here's the problem. I don't do StreamYard, which is what a lot of people do. I use something called Streamlabs. So Streamlabs is a different setup entirely. And the issue that I have is when I put people on, if I don't, like, I have to set it up a very specific way. It takes some testing, but I get an echo. And I get a really mean echo from people who I try to bring on as guests. I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to figure it out. But the truth is, Rocky, if I were to put you on the live stream right now, chances are you would come through with a really, really hard echo. So I'm not opposed to it. I'd love to get you on the live stream. That echo is brutal to listen to, though. So I'm just being honest. I would love to put you on, brother. Let's get together in the Discord. We'll figure it out. It's one of those things that I definitely need to set up before the live stream goes live, but I'd love to have you on the live. M King M87 says Utah needs more knife stores. I mean, they have Blade HQ. It's a pretty big one, isn't it? It's always good to have options, though. Hey, Mikey Daily Carry in the house. He says, roll and crew, good evening. Good evening, man. Chef Rocky says, too bad. I'm friends with the guys at Blade Runner HQ, and they got the ass hat robber. Man, I read all about it. It's such a shame. The worst things happen to the best people. Right now, I'm working on finding a way to support them myself. Selling some knives. I'm hopefully going to get my hands on that American Blade Works Model 1 exclusive. Got to take care of business first, though. Got to acquire the funds. Lone Star Cowboy says, live echo drama. Now we're talking. Yeah. Yep. Jim Miller says, this from a Midgards Messer fan. So here's the thing. My Midgards Messer knives are not pry bars. Arguably, one of my sliciest knives. We're going to exclude the Hedgehog from this conversation because this is the sliciest. But my sliciest locking knife is my Midgards Messer Thunrar, and that has a 1/4 inch thick blade. I'll show you. It is this guy. This behemoth. Check that out. That is a 1/4 inch thick blade spine. For reference, here's the spine comparison up against, focus. Spine comparison against a Manix 2. But the reason why this is super slicey is because it gets very thin behind the edge. And then that geometry continues for a long ways up the body of the blade. So it actually slices through things really easily. The weight of the blade helps going through things like cardboard. I've done videos slicing the crap out of cardboard with this thing. Its CPM D2 performs extremely well. Could you use this as a pocket pry bar? Maybe, but I guarantee you this will outcut any of the Beans Blades knives. I would bet dollars to donuts this would absolutely wreck that Beans Blade design as far as actual cutting performance goes, because the edge geometry is superior for the cutting task. All right, I've said my piece on that. It's one of the reasons why I love this knife so much. The Thunrar has no business being this slicey, but you could 100% slice the crap out of anything with this knife. I love it. Jim Miller says edge geometry for the win. Absolutely. Mr. Prosthetic says, what you selling, man? I was late to the show. Did I miss it? I haven't checked my email yet, so I don't know if what I was mentioning has even sold. Let me pull up my phone real quick to see if I got any emails in. Hold on. All right. Yeah, so nobody's emailed me about the knives that I mentioned that I had up for sale. Okay, so I mentioned this in the Discord chat, but if you're not part of the Discord yet, totally fine. I've got a couple knives for sale. First one I've got up for grabs for $280, and I've got the certificate of authenticity right here. It's serial number 174 out of the first 550. It is the Arcane Plexus. So these are not cheap knives, extremely well made. Selling this for $280. $280. If you don't know how good of a deal that is, go to Arcane's website and see what they sell for, and you'll see why that's a really good deal. So that's the first one. I know a lot of people that wanted this knife already have it, but if you wanted one and just didn't have the original dough for it, this is a good opportunity. The next one that I have up for sale, where did I put the box? Here's the box. Okay. I have a Dark Bolt Designs Stratus. Now, something that makes this Stratus cool, it's a button actuated liner lock. So it's not a regular button lock. These brand new go for about $220. I already got it boxed up too. Imagine that. I already got it boxed up. So brand new, these go for about $220. It's a button actuated liner lock. That's what this is right there. 20 CV or M390. I don't know. I'd have to check. Hey, I've got the spec. It's 20 CV. Yeah. So use the button. Boom. Fantastic. These go for about $220 brand new. I'm selling this for $150. So, Mr. Prosthetic, now you are caught up. I was selling some other knives, but they sold. Sold the Devo Nip for $150. Sold the Max Ace capsule for $150. Yeah. So these are what I'm currently selling. What makes this really cool though is this is the only one with a back spacer. These typically only have barrel spacers, but the guy that runs Dark Bolt Design sent me the back spacer for it because it was originally designed with one. Chef Rocky with a $5 donation. He says, read that comment again. I'm struggling tonight. I'm sorry, man. I'm struggling. Can't get his live stream to work with guests. What the hell is going on here? He says, read that comment again. They got the ass hat robber. His name is James Wilhite. Lives 200 yards away from headquarters. Love to you and yours. Fantastic. And you know what? In all honesty, that guy. Seriously. You just go in and destroy a local business, smash and grab, take thousands. Put him away. Put him away. He doesn't deserve his freedom. Thank you for the update, Chef Rocky. I'm still going to go ahead and say that everyone should check out Blade Runner HQ because really cool website, and I am glad that I now know about them because they seem to have fair pricing and knives that get sold out everywhere else. I don't think they get hit by the scalpers as hard as everyone else does. So I'm still going to recommend them regardless. Support cool knife stores like this. Absolutely. Ed B says, do you take Sezzle? I take PayPal. I'll take Zelle. That's what I got. Yeah, I take PayPal and I take Zelle. The Night's Edge says, hey, Roll, sorry I'm late. It's a badass looking blade. Yeah, that fixed blade, the Jake McCoy fixed blade. Sweet. Shout out to the Night's Edge. Make sure to check out his channel, guys. It's growing. He's growing. The Knight's Edge is doing big things. Chef Rocky says, I don't know yet. Very new news. I just got a benchmade gold class Jum. I don't know that knife. I've got so many knives on my desk right now. I went to type and I just realized that I couldn't type because I had too many knives in the way. Lone Star Cowboy says benchmade is Oregon. Are they? I knew that Kershaw and ZT were Oregon. I didn't know that benchmade was Oregon. All right. So the benchmade gold class Jum. I've never heard of that one, but you have me curious. The benchmade gold class Jum. The Jum? The Jam. Oh yeah, I've been seeing this everywhere. $600. $600. It's like a truck payment right there.
Certified badass.
That's what you got to be to buy one of those. Chef Rocky's got. He doesn't care. He's like, you know what? I work hard for my dollars. I'm gonna buy what I want. I know that collectors and fans of Benchmades, they don't care. They're like, I'm gonna buy what I want and I'm gonna enjoy it, and it's my damn money. That's the best part, guys. Like, value is so finicky because it's always based on what you believe. If it's worth it, you'll buy it. And if it's good, you'll enjoy it. And it'll have been worth it. I do think that these gold class immunities are pretty cool. I've been seeing them pop up on Instagram all day, but they look... The weird thing is that I know how big the full immunity is. The full immunity is not a big knife. Like, check it out. The blade length is 2.5 inches. But in the pictures on Instagram, they always look bigger than they are. It's like when you see that message in like one of your side mirrors in your car where it says objects in the mirror may look bigger than they actually are. Closer than they appear. It's not a big knife, but their pictures on social media make it look big. Or at least bigger. As long as you like it, man. That's what's most important. Lone Star Cowboy says, true keyboard warrior cannot type with blades on the board. Trying not to slice up my arms. It's the truth. It is the truth. M. Houston says, I honestly considered that gold class immunity, but I just can't get myself to pay $600 for it. It's a good looking knife. I really like what they did with the handle scales. Those carbon fiber handles do look good. And I honestly think that their price bumps haven't hit their gold class knives as hard as they've hit their other knives. We've seen far more inflation on regular everyday Benchmade bug outs than we ever have on their gold class versions. Yeah. It's crazy. Bluminati says, beauty is in the eye of the beer holder. Agreed. The Knight's Edge says, Rollshambo, did you tell them the news about my new Benchmade deal they gave me? I haven't. So I was chatting with the Knight's Edge, right? And he says, hey, I reached out to Benchmade to see if they would send me a knife to review. And they said, yeah. And then they gave him the link to a retail page. It's like, you can review it if you buy it. That's the Benchmade treatment for you. They're like, oh, you want to check out a knife? $500. You got to pay the piper with Benchmade, unless you're like, Metal Complex or Neves Knives or any channel that they actually want to leverage for marketing. And I get it. Business decisions. Joseph Jones says, I only buy from USA makers and never had an issue with OG AWT Rockscale. Yeah. Original GOAT, Applied Weapons Technology, and Rockscale. Dude, Rockscale is so good. Absolutely love my Rockscale PM2. All right, guys. So we actually went over by 10 minutes. By 10 minutes. I'm going to turn the music down and take a minute to say thank you. The night is coming to an end. Wanted to say thank you. I always say thank you at the end of my live streams because it's important to know that I appreciate everything you guys do to keep this channel in good shape. It is so much fun to come on these live streams every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time and every Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It is the best. It is the highlight of my week. It is becoming one of my favorite things to do on the channel, along with my regular content. Channel members know that I'm always working on giving you more value for your membership. I know a channel member asked earlier, do I do Patreon? I actually have a Patreon. I don't list it yet because I haven't figured out a good way to offer value there, but I will look into it. I'll see what I can do. So know that is probably coming as well. This channel wouldn't be the same with you or without you. I wouldn't do this without you guys. So thank you so much for supporting the channel, whether you comment, whether you subscribe, whether you watch the live streams live or you watch them later. It would not be the same without you. So thank you so much for making this the best hobby I've ever had and a hell of a lot of fun. And that's it, guys. I'm going to call it a night. Thank you for joining me. For some of you guys, I'll see you soon. For everyone else, I'll see you later.